If you look at how open data is being used, there's a long list of fields where it creates value, not just economic activity, not just more transparency so that we can better see how government works, but also in the field of journalism, in the field of participation, that I as a citizen can take much more active part in the life around me, but also on the field of self-empowerment, that I can take better decisions for me and my family based on information and data that's being made available.
Open data have been found to catalyze job creation, catalyze entire industries. Like good examples are weather industry in the US, which was made possible and grew in manifold to a multi-billion-dollar industry because the government opened the weather data. Similarly, the GPS data, the satellite data, when it was released by US government, it created a huge industry in the US and globally around GPS devices. So there are so many other examples of open data creating jobs and boosting economic growth, innovation, competitiveness.
I just think with the new advent of new technology taking over and becoming ever more present in the hands of citizens, it's very timely to be able to put a lot of this data online and have many citizens really be involved and know what's happening with their government. And so that's part of what's happening here today. All these apps that are being created so that people just with in their phone in their hand are able to quickly access relevant information and be able to kind of glean what their government is doing.
Really what it's about is how do we discuss with citizens and help work with them to use the latest tools and behaviors in this new world of information age. Because I think governments around the world have recognized that the pace of change of technology, especially information technology and communication technology with citizens, is so fast and things are happening so quickly outside of government. The best way to engage citizens, to allow them to participate and access government data, government services and issues around that data.
Я считаю, что это очень хорошая возможность помочь нам, конечным юзерам, и в частности населению, обычным гражданам воспользоваться open data, решать какие-то свои ежедневные задачи, будь то устройство ребенка в школу, либо проверка того, куда уходят деньги бюджета.
So you're able to give the opportunity for people to look into the data and think about how we create new visualizations around it, how we create new applications to solve problems around it. It's kind of opening it and allowing new opportunities to come there.
Open data is important because it gives citizens a chance to be able to interact with their government officials, to interact with their government, so as to be able to help them, to keep them accountable. And not only that, but they can also give them ideas, they can give feedback, they can give a sense, they can have a proper platform on which to talk to the government and help them figure out what they want.
It's really important to think about what is the relevant data for the citizens to put out there so that it is used. Because there are many open data initiatives out there, but it's important that the data is relevant, and that it's a two-way conversation, that people use the data and also give feedback on it.
I think of open data as being the fuel that's going to power the car of progress. But the car isn't going to get anywhere without wheels and drivers and people to move it forward. And technologies play a key role in turning this data from numbers on a spreadsheet and databases on the internet into tools and products and services that people can use. We're also in the future going to see big data being very important as the next phase in internet commerce evolution. So we're going to see a lot of very big businesses and a lot of great opportunities for employment, jobs and prosperity coming out of open data as entrepreneurs adapt this, use it in their services and create really viable, strong businesses around this information.
I think the government of Moldova has done an amazing job and is taking amazing steps in amazing directions. Just earlier this week, we've seen such a rich assortment of activities and programs come together, which have put people like journalists and coders and developers and civil society all in the same place at the same time, to learn about open data, to be able to understand the practical side of open data, and to be able to see how open data can function to make people's lives better.
Open data is important, particularly for Moldova, in terms of creating transparency for government. And transparency is important actually in several ways. Probably the most important one here is for accountability and being able to create an understanding of what government actually does.
Moldova itself can create a lot of impact, a lot of growth using open data. The average number which was estimated is 1% of GDP growth country can achieve due to introduction of the open data.
Я вижу реально перспективный путь развития именно IT-разработки в Молдове. Можно сделать хорошее приложение и зарабатывать дома, и брать опыт соседей.
We actually held a tech camp event very similar to this event last summer, and it was focused on kind of engaging citizens in local environments and trying to come up with problems and how they would kind of solve those using technology. We've seen a lot of these issues opening up in the open government space, and I think that's very important for Moldova, as I said before, just in bringing more citizens involved in their government and making a process and being able to kind of communicate with and share information openly.
We strongly believe in having diplomacy by empowering the locals and improving the digital literacy of people. So it's really awesome to see here, the government is open to that as well, is to empower the locals by opening up the data and trying to come with apps so that it helps both the government and the people. So it's really nice for us from State Department to see a change in Moldova, and it's doing so well. The government is doing so well and actively want to help the people and use technology at the grassroots level. So
basically, we're trying to build internal movement in Moldova, so Moldovan citizens will care about Moldovan government, and Moldovan government will care even more about Moldovan citizens. And open data is essentially allow us to be a catalyst of this relationship. Basically, open data will bring trust and will bring understanding between public and between government employees.
We'll see what comes out of it, but I've already seen some very exciting ideas for accountability in schools, for local governance issues at the urban level, different applications for greater transparency, greater engagement. So what we really see is we've released the data in Moldova, but that's just the beginning. Now we need to begin to look at it, to use it, to turn it into new things. And that's what this event is about. What can we do with the data?
Noi am observat o prezentare foarte frumoasă vis-a-vis de toate datele privind școlile din Republica Moldova, pe care a făcut-o dezvoltatorii, deci Asociația Dezvoltatorilor, crearea portalului pentru inițiativa Hai Moldova, când am permis tuturor deci celor implicați, ONG-urilor, iarăși o platformă de crowdsourcing, să-și pună datele și să administrăm online, să observăm cum merge această procedură. Este ceva simplu, făcut pentru uzul tuturor, chiar și celor neinițiați în tehnologii informaționale. De fapt, asta este scopul.